Who do you think is taking place?
Just put everything in the oven, Carla.
Welcome to the second podcast of Youth Time International Movement. I'm Nevena Šaulić, and today we are going to talk with Lucie Mairychová about career development of unprivileged people in Czech Republic. Lucie is co-founder and managing director of Institut for Career and Development, an NGO that aims to encourage young adults to aim high, make conscious decisions, and reach long in their career growth through positive reinforcement, critical thinking, and professional support. Most recently, through her NGO, she is building an inspirational platform for young people in the Czech Republic, leveraging technology to help students make informed career choices and motivate them to be proactive and pursue their interests and talents. So, Lucie, welcome to Youth Time International Movement. I would like you to make some small introduction. Could you please tell me something more about your role in Samsung?
Hello, Nevena. Thank you for inviting me. Basically, I am just normal girl coming from really small city on the north of Czech Republic.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm coming from regular family, no money, no like forcing in education. And mostly this is what made me like do what I do, because I saw people around me, they had no ambitions. The most goal they had was like just finish high school, start working, have family. And for me it was something like, I want more. Like I read the articles or on the internet, I see people like successful, having NGOs, the companies, and I was like, I need to do something. And mostly it's about the environment you're coming from. So I decided to move from my little town to Prague. Nobody believed me. Like my mom, even
Really?
2 months before I was moving, mom, I said like, come on, you're joking. And then she was really surprised. Then I went to university, I moved to Prague, and like the beginning was really hard, but I want to say like to move to Prague, it was the best decision in my life, like to do the step, be alone and work on myself without like support of the family and the friends I had. So basically I started working in NGOs, helping young adults, mostly from foster care, disadvantaged families. We did like short programs for them about education, how they can find the first job. Mostly when they are leaving the children home, it's really a big shock for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I started like administrative assistant, going to post office and doing a lot of Excel and a lot of work like that. And time by time, I really was interested in the topic. I started learning more things, doing some workshops for them. And after a few years, I started designing my own programs. And I started cooperating with Samsung, like external designer for their CSR programs, because it works like they had this CSR manager who is responsible for their side, and they are cooperating with other NGOs and organizations. So firstly, I did really small programs for them, and by time we like started liking each other and we like trust each other, that they asked me to build this 1 year long program for them. Basically, this is how I started, and it was all coming step after step, and yeah, it was cool.
Yes, but now it sounds like like every successful story, like we see only the end when you are becoming successful. That means that you like all your dreams came true, so you moved and everything. But I wanted to ask you, how did you approach Samsung? How do you have, like, for example, if I want to work somewhere, and how should I approach it? How did you do this? This is really important for young people, because you were young. You were 18 or 20?
Yeah, I was 19.
19 years old. You are coming from small village to Prague, so the capital, like, of I would say of this part of the Europe. Like everybody's coming to Prague, and it's like, new state. It's not just, and you're coming there. And how did you start? How did you approach like the first NGO? How did you believe in yourself? It's not New Age philosophy or psychology, just about like how did you think in that moment when nobody believed in you?
Well, to be honest, I didn't believe in myself neither. It was just coming, and like even now, after I have my own NGO, I'm working with Samsung. Sometimes I am like, yeah, for me it's normal. Like now it's my life, it's what I do, and some people are like, whoa, it's amazing, it's my dream job, I would do it. And like I don't like so much like talking about it, because I still think there are like people who did much more. I don't see myself like successful or something. I just do what I like. And my big luckiness in my life is that I'm helping others. So this is what most people, they just work, they deliver the results, they get paid, and that's all. But I'm talking with others, I'm helping them, and that's what makes me really feeling, okay, I do something that's really nice, and not everybody has this opportunity. But to go back how I reached Samsung, it was mostly because the NGO I started to work in, one of my friends, I just met her on the street. I was going to buy something, and I met my friend I haven't seen for 3-4 years, and she say how are you, what you doing? And that she works in this small NGO. They're just 3-4 people, and they always when they see somebody who's really active and nice, communicative, they always find a spot for him. So basically I went there. The next day I met the boss, and we liked each other. So next day I started working there. First, as I mentioned, as the administrative, and then time by time I was really taking the confidence. I was first preparing the just little parts of the programs. Then I was having some ideas how to improve the program. And then when I saw somebody doing maybe the financial reporting, I was I'm if you want, I can help you. I think I can make it too. So mostly I was trying new things. I wasn't scared to try to leave my comfort zone, and this is the way how I learned. So basically, when the Google Sheets came out, I say, why we are paying server the big black ugly box for so much money when we can use just Google. It's easy, it's online, everybody can use it. And me, without no knowledge, I say, look, we cancel the server, and I will manage everything to transfer to Google, and I will teach you how to use it. I will learn through some videos and tutorials, and I did. In 1 month, all the organization was just on Google Sheets. So mostly it's about not being afraid that it will not work out. And I mean, now we have perfect time. You can learn anything. Of course you can probably become a doctor after you already studied your degree, but if you are working in marketing and you want to suddenly start programming, you can. If you want to become a hairdresser, you can. We have so many opportunities in some regular courses, but also online, the internet. I'm learning programming every evening at home through Udemy platform. My boyfriend, he learned a Scrum. He's Scrum Master now. Also just learn from the internet. We have so many opportunities, and it just don't be afraid, try, learn, and then you can prove yourself. And if you get the opportunity, you can do anything. And one of the programs, we were doing really small programs for 20 children around 3-4 months, really intensive. We did for them workshop about how to reach the future employee, how to prepare the curriculum, and how to behave during the interview. And we just were trying to get money, and we asked hey Samsung, would you like to support us? And they like the program. Always it's about the person, it's about the people there. So mostly the manager in Samsung, she's very nice. We are friends, really good friends now after 5-6 year cooperation. And she trusted us, she believed in us. We started these 2 small little programs for them as well. And by some 2-3 years, they say, look, the small programs are nice, but we want something bigger. And that's why they asked me look, could you design for us the program? So I did. I remember really well because it was Christmas holidays, and I was designing the program because it had to be sent till the end of the year. And yeah, then they just call us, look, we really like the idea. And in that time I was living in Spain. I was working from Spain mostly. And I was okay, let's quickly do it. And I remember from Spain, I was even doing a lot of meetings with them, explaining them the details of the program. And in 3 months, I was living back in Prague because I had to move to really deliver and work on the program. Other option was to hire somebody to do it, but I was come on, Lucy, you built this amazing program for it was my dream job, so you have to go back and take this opportunity in your hands. So I moved back from Spain, and I started working really for Samsung. And now it's the 3rd year. First 2 years we're still in cooperation with the previous NGO, And like last year I decided like I need to move somewhere else, I need to do my things, because also the direction of NGO were mostly the foster care and children from children home, and I wanted to help also the rest of the society, the rest of the young people, because there is so much attention and so much support for these like children homes, foster care. But when you are like normal, coming from regular family, just from some poor region, the parents work really hard, but they don't have so much money, they cannot support you, they don't have like the education. Those people also need like some support, maybe not the financial one, but like the knowledge to show them the opportunities. And this was the direction I wanted to go. So I decided to found my own NGO, and actually I met a really amazing colleague of mine that we decided, look, we both want the same, so let's found the NGO together. And Samsung was so happy with us that they say, look, we do this program with you, like, and we want to continue with you. So this year Samsung also continues with me, but we've changed the program a lot and we focus on future skills because we see it's really important.
Okay, but for people who doesn't know anything about Tvoje šance program and about kariéry.cz, because we have like followers from all over the world, I would just like you to make some introduction about Tvoje šance. Like we know that we are talking about unprivileged people, but please tell us results, how is designed this program, how it's running, like which opportunity people from Czech and Czech Republic and Slovakia can we gain like from this program, like everything, just like, you know, to make it more clear for people who are coming, for example, from Austria or America or whatever.
Sure. Basically, the Samsung Tvoje šance program, in translation, it's your chance. Mm-hmm. It's the program itself is giving a chance to the people who would never reach this kind of opportunities and these tools. So we focus on really small group of people. We every year have just 9 or 12 participants. This year it's 9. And we do it because before, when we did the bigger programs for 20-25 kids, they had to be shorter because of the budget. Mm-hmm. And now we saw like after a while we saw like it's amazing, we help them for 3-4 months, but after a while they just drop down. Like it's you take them up, you help them for a little bit. Mm-hmm. They are really motivated when they are in the group, but then they go just back to their normal life. Maybe some of them like keep some knowledge, they know how, they have perfect CVs, they know how to go to the interview, but they are back in their society, in their group, and they are not super active. Because also it's like it's sad, because when you are active in the school, in the class, people look at you like, you weirdo, like where you are still like talking to teacher, and like it's still really common here that if you're successful and if you the only one, you are the weird one.
Really?
Yeah, it's like so many people, like our young students we talking with, they say I'm the only one. They say me like, how you can spend all your weekends working on yourself, like go party with us or do something else, play football or whatever, like have your free time. And they say no, I see value in like some self-development and this kind of stuff. But yeah, here it's like me myself, I remember at school, like when I knew something, I didn't raise the hand because I knew that they will like laugh on me, or they will look at me like, come on, why you are still like so active. So this is like what the society or the group you are in, like keep your low profile kind of. And we say like, okay, we help them for 2-3 months, but then the success or like it's not the continuation. So with Samsung we decided we want to do a long program. So this is only for a small group, so we can really individualizing every session for them, and it takes 1 year. Basically, first 2 months of the year, it's just the application process, selections of participants. That's really, really like the most important part, because the people you select into group, this is how the group will be doing. So it's really, we're doing interviews, like motivational videos. They have to write some cover letters, they have to do some questionnaires, and then it's like really long process to select the right ones. But I have to say, like, we are really lucky, or they are always amazing. Like the third year, and all the participants were just amazing. And basically the program contains a common part for all of them and then some individual parts. In the common part or the group workshops, they learn like the basic stuff they need to know for like this modern world. So they have also like critical thinking. They learn how to use the technology, how to communicate, how to prepare presentations, this kind of stuff. Like they don't teach you that at school, but you need it. And it doesn't matter if you work in a shopping center or you are working office, you work on the field, you need to like be communicating. You need in regular like life use the technology. So we teach them this stuff, plus also like financial literacy, the curriculum, how to prepare for the job interview. Now we will have a lot of workshop like how to develop or start your own business, how to come with the ideas like design thinking and so these workshops are for all of them the same. We have 6 weekends during the entire year, like mostly it's almost every 1 month and a half we have a weekend full of the workshops for them. Plus this summer we're also preparing 2 intensive weeks that it will be also like this kind of topics, but really intensive 1 week, so we can work with them. And as well as the COVID now didn't let us to do the workshop, we have to go online, so we are so excited finally meet the students again in person. So this is the common part for all of them. They are learning just to have the basic or like the regular information they need. It's necessary. And what's really amazing on this program is the individual part, because for us, each the participant, it's 1 program. So if there is a girl who she wants to be a lawyer, we do for her everything to become a lawyer. So she will have a lot of courses and workshops. She will learn public speaking, like the talking. She will go to like really specific like courses about the law. Or when we have a student who wants to do marketing, they absolutely a lot of workshops like how to make the advertisements on Facebook, Instagram, how to manage the social media, how to prepare like mailing campaigns. We also send them to internships or just excursions. Like every student has his own program. And this is financed by their own budget, because it worked the way that we have a program budget. And each of the students has his own individual budget. So we also teach them how to use the money. Like they have to make the decision if they want to learn business language, like business English, for example, and if they prefer to travel to UK to take some 2 weeks course that will cost them like €5,000, or if they stay here in Czech Republic and they find some native who will go with them through the topics and teach them. So they have to also like value the money they got, and also their time, because it's a really big limitations, mostly when they have school. Now most of them doing the final exams at the high school, they have their social life, the jobs, like some part-time jobs, and so they really have to value the time and money they use. And we also teach them kind of a project management, because we want them to do all the work. Like we give them the tools, we are like the mentors, we give them the know-how, but they have to do all the work. So they are planning, like at the beginning of the program they have a lot of sessions with career counselors, and they planning their development program, their development plan. So they have to make their own vision, and this vision they have to split in like separate goals and plan the way step by step how to reach these goals.
Wow.
And yeah, like we really like mentoring them all the time, and kicking them, motivating them all the time.
Mentorship program as well.
Yeah, but they have to do the work by themselves. So they are reporting. Now they actually had a workshop on Microsoft Office, how to use some advanced tools and like some cool stuff for making presentations. And after that I say, okay, look, there is a homework for you. You prepare me a report for the last 3 months in the program, every activity you done, what it gave to you, what did you learn, which one you value the most, and you prepare it in Excel, and then you make a presentation. Whoa. So basically they learn, they have the workshops, but they also use it, like they do the practical stuff as well.
Learning and doing in the same time.
And this year we added one really new stuff there, because as they're learning like the marketing and technology programming, doing web pages, or we have one designer there, like he wants to become a game designer. We want them to really like use those stuff they learned. So we're starting this summer. They will make groups of 3. So we will have 3 groups of 3 students, and they will have to come with their own idea and really like build the project and like do it and then analyze the results. So the topic is also like how to use the technology, of course, as the Samsung is technological company, and we want this project they will work on is having some social impact. So for example, they will decide, they will teach people in the elder house how to use the technologies, the mobiles. They will have to prepare some like marketing campaign for that. They will have to build maybe some application for them or prepare some methodology how they will teach them. And then they will really have to go to these like houses, ask for permission. Look, we have this workshop, can we do it here for you for free? They will do it, and then they will like maybe make some analysis or do some report how it was successful, how much money it cost them, like what they could improve in the future. So really what they learned, they also will use and try to build their own program.
And how old are they, your participants?
They're between 18 21. So mostly finishing the high school or the first year of the university.
And which is criteria to choose somebody? He needs to come from like a poor environment or not to have opportunities, or I can also with my 28 years like apply. What is?
Well, you definitely can't, as you already passed the border 21, unfortunately.
Oh my god.
But like what is really like the highest criterion for us is the motivation. So it would matter the most. Then also the way how they need the program. If maybe they're already too smart or too proactive, that it would be great for them, of course, but it would be just another opportunity, but they already got many, or they are already too far. So we are like trying to balance to choose the students they really need it. Also, they are really motivated and they will make the biggest use of it. And as you mentioned, the previous 2 years were only for social disadvantaged students. So that means also like including children from foster care or children homes, but as well people coming from poor families or families where they have some like health issues. For example, all the family has to take for the sick mother, or something really bad happened, and like for example both parents lost their job and now they cannot like go back. So like to be disadvantaged, it's really wide, like the group of people, and that like for us the most important is the motivation. And this year we did the fact that we say, look, we don't want to take only the disadvantage. Like we want them, of course, we want to help anyone who asks, because the thing is, if you have the opportunity, you have to ask for, or you have to look for it, and then you can get it. And those young people that are disadvantaged or coming from this environment or region where there are not so many like educated people, they have a problem to reach this. They never hear about it.
Yes.
And this is the big problem we see, and that's why we built Kariérko. Because there are really a lot of like for example the city I'm coming from, and nobody, like anyone from my friends, they understand my job. They don't understand that we are doing some program for free for students. They say like, and like for free, really? It's impossible. They never heard about some CSR programs. They never heard about like this kind of development activities or workshop they could join for free and develop themselves. Like they actually don't think about like self-development at all. And this is the problem. It's not that they don't want, they just don't know about it. So we built Kariérko, and basically it's online platform for everyone who wants to be like working on themselves, do something to like reach their future or like their dream career. And basically we do a lot of like social advertisement, preparing the campaign for young people to reach also those disadvantaged, or those like they are not like disadvantaged by the real meaning of the word, they just don't know about that. And we want more people to be active, we want more people to work on their dreams, because as like there are too many technologies and the world is changing so fast, it's really important they at least know about it and think about it. Because we talk about the future of job, what will happen, you need some future skills, but the people who already like educated or they talking about it, those people, they will probably be doing fine, because they already thinking about the topic and they know, look, something's happening on the market and we have to learn some new stuff, we have to change our behavior. But those people, they never heard about this and they don't know what's happening on the market, and this is the biggest problem. So we want like to bring them the topics and to talk to them the way they want to listen. Like we prepare a lot of articles or the podcast interviews, and we speak the language they want to hear. Like we really use informal way of communication. We do like nice colorful posts, so really like attract those that they are just clicking on the games or like some like jokes. They never will click on some educational program on Facebook. But the way we communicate it is that they might be interested as well. Plus we're preparing like at the autumn to start with workshops at school and really start with these regions that really need it the most. So we will do some motivational workshops, maybe bring some people from their environment, because another really big problem is now, thanks to social media or Instagram, like there are always people who are better than you, always, and there will always be. And it was before as well, but we just didn't think about it because we didn't see their amazing lives every day just in your phone. And I actually forgot what I wanted to say.
Well, but in the meantime, maybe I can ask you something what was on my mind. You know that I moved here 10 months ago. So for me it was surprising when I heard from some people that there is big difference between Prague and other parts of Czech Republic. For me it was like Prague, and I never considered that other parts of Czech Republic are not developed as Prague is. It's the same in Belgrade, but you always think that the grass is greener like somewhere else. But statistics also shows that you know that in Czech Republic the level of education of people, like most of them have a high school, like literacy is 99% and everything like this. So I was thinking, oh my god, Czech people, they're all well educated. I cannot believe this is dreamland. For me it was, you know, like something beautiful. Then I went to Kariérko, like your website, everything was in like very in Czech, but I was thinking I'm smart enough so I could understand, like because our languages are pretty much similar, Serbian and Czech. And then I was thinking, why are we talking now about journalists? Like you have, for people who don't know, like you have profile, you go to Kariérko, and I just need to say, oh my god, your graphic designer is awesome. I'm in love with all of those illustrations and everything with graphics that you are doing. And then I was thinking, okay, we have journalists, average salary, and you know, basic information there. I was thinking, okay, this is not meant for me, but in Czech Republic, everybody is so smart. So why there is a need for this? Then yesterday I was talking with Juju and Juliette, our event manager, and she told me, oh no, but you need to be aware that it's not developed everywhere in the same level. So could you please explain me how it's to live? You're coming from small village, and like in my dream that village is so nice and there's so many universities, like just to meet Buster in this moment. How is to live there and how is environment, and why do you think that there is a need for this? Just to explain it, you know, basics, because people who are not coming from Czech Republic, it's really, really like hard to understand it.
Sure. Thank you for the designing compliment. Like to be honest, we do everything by ourselves. For this program, we don't have any funding, just volunteers. So we're really like happy to hear some compliments because it really means for us a lot. But to go back to the education in Czech Republic, as you say, there are so many differences. Like the Prague, it's the world itself. Prague, Brno, Ostrava, those big cities, they're really developed. There are the universities, and people are more like engaged. But in the rest of the country, it's totally different. Like mostly it's because like it was last year in autumn, there were this really beautiful survey and they come with amazing results that Czech Republic is not split in like poor and rich or like educated and not, but we are in 6 groups. And the reason is like it's also coming from the communism and this kind of mindset. So the people coming from communism, these generations, they are like when they have children, they are growing them or like teaching them a little bit different way, not the way that the world works now, because for them it's still not like clear. But I mean the biggest problem is, or at least like from the region I'm coming from, it's you are surrounded by a group of people, and like usually or like mostly you are the person who you are. It means like the people you are surrounded by, they pass on you. They are like ideas and the way they behave, the way they look at life. And like the region, they are just close people together, and when there is a child, it's being grown by the same way, like the parents or like the older siblings. And the people who wants to study, who wants to have university, who want to reach their future, like be successful, they move to big city. So the rest will stay still in the small cities, in the regions. And it's impossible like to break this because like if the smart people go away, then they just stay together. Those, I don't want to say smart or stupid or like really not. It's just the way they think about the world.
Different mindset.
Exactly. So this is the problem we have in big cities or in like some regions. We have really like open-minded people. Mostly those are the cities where are universities. And then the rest, it's really living totally different world.
Oh my God.
And what we're trying to do with Kariérko is what we see as a problem, or maybe how it could be solved, is they don't have beliefs. Like they don't believe they can be successful because nobody around them is.
Yeah, so they're supporting not to be like all together.
Exactly. And for most of them, the university is not important, or like to be working on yourself. For them, it's just finish the school, get the money, start having money. You can buy anything you want, gossiping and like doing this kind of stuff. Like, trust me, I'm coming from this environment. Like, always when I hear what's happening around, it's funny. So we were thinking in Kariérko that maybe what could help is to have some like inspirational or a person you can admire and show them that those people are coming from their environment, from this group of people. And that's why we're doing interviews and podcasts.
I adore your podcast as well.
Did you understand something?
Yes, I could.
That's awesome. Because we want to take people from like per region who already are successful, or what is success, you know? It's really like buzzword, but like people who are happy in what they're doing. They are like financially fine. They are not like living from one paycheck to another
Not
one.
looking forward for Friday.
Yeah,
those people.
exactly. And so we want to show them that those people are coming from the same environment. They just had to change something in their mindset and work on themselves, and then they move away mostly. But we want to say, look, you have the same opportunity, because if this person could do it, why you can't? It's just about your own motivation and what you want to reach in your life. So we want really, now we're starting in autumn doing also like interviews around the Czech Republic now, as we didn't have so many resources. We did mostly in Prague.
Whoa.
And the thing what we want to show is, look, you are dealing with poor financial problems. You maybe don't have so perfect like results at school. But look at this person who is now, for example, marketing director in some big company. He's coming from the same city. He also is coming from the poor family. He had like horrible behavior at school. And look where he is now. He just had to do this, and this. That's why the people in our podcast are sharing the way, how they reached the place where they are now. So they're really describing their childhood, from which family they are coming from, what was like decision maker when they were choosing the school, the university, what were their motivations, maybe who inspired them, because mostly sometimes it's parents or friends, or maybe some like celebrity or some like successful person already. So we want to really like describe them. Look, you can reach the same, but you need to see that it was long way. It wasn't like this, because mostly they say like, look, he's some director, he built his company, he was lucky.
Somebody help him.
Yes, he was lucky, it's not for me. But we want to show them through the stories we do that it's not true. There is always a path you have to follow, and there's always step by step you have to do. And so to those people coming from this kind of closed society, we want to show, look, there are really like successful, happy, amazing people coming from the same environment like you, so no excuse. They did this. Nobody say to copy their life path, but you can like get inspired, because what we want to do in the future is also like the student come to our webpage, they do little like questionnaires, or they will just have to choose some characteristic. For example, they like working on computer, talking with people, and languages. And the webpage will show them the professions that they can use these skills. And they will read something about the profession, because next problem is, I want to become a marketing specialist, and they really don't know what that means,
yes.
what the job contains. So that's why we are doing the job descriptions. So they read something about the job, and they will have like 2, 3, 4 life stories of the people who are already doing the jobs, because we can also show them that there is not only one path you have to follow. There are 100 ways how you can reach this one like point in the future. So basically this is how we do it, and plus we support it with a lot of articles from professionals like career counselors, people from HR, or also active students who are already doing something additional to their school, because we'll really try to like force them, like show them, look, do it, it's amazing. The thousands of non-formal educational opportunities you have now. You can go to internships. Thanks to European Union, you can go to anywhere like for free. The money is not the problem, and it gives you so much. It opens your eyes, and you meet a lot of people. You come back after Erasmus like totally different person, and those programs are for free. There are others, hundreds of programs that they can use, because not only Erasmus is doing that. There are also as Samsung Tvoje šance is the CSR programs from companies, like huge companies like Vodafone, T-Mobile, Avast, SAP, like everybody is doing like some CSR programs, mostly supporting young people. And you can do by yourself, you can do volunteering. It gives you so many like new skills, new point of view. You can just do like teach somebody something, like, look, I'm good in English, I will teach you English. I'm good in math, I will teach you math. Like, try to not think about yourself only, like there are people around you, and this is what will makes our society like progress, because if we only think about ourselves, it makes no sense.
Yes, I agree totally. And you are, I don't know, do our participants know, but Lucia will be our expert on our International Youth Summer School in Reykjavik in 2 months. So, like, what do you expect from our summer school? How do you feel that? Like, what are you going to talk to them about? What are you going to learn? What are your expectations in generally about our summer school?
I'm really excited to go, really, mostly to meet so many like students who are already active, because it can be another case story for me, for those Czech people, saying, look, there are so many people around the world dealing with the same topic. So I'm excited to meet the new participant, to meet the speakers. For me, it's also kind of new experience, because I do a lot of workshops here in Czech Republic, but not abroad. So like, to do the jokes in English, it will be really challenging for me, so I'm preparing a lot. And basically my workshop will contain the topic is social inclusion, challenging and opportunities in education and development. And I want really briefly to talk about the social inclusion, because it's kind of buzzword, and the big problems that the social inclusion is dealing with, it's not something like one person can like solve. But I want to like show how everybody and each of us can be involved more in the society, how they can like do a lot of other like stuff that will enrich their lives and that will help them with their future jobs, because now it's not only about the formal education, it's about a lot of other experiences and like life stories you have and you can pass on for your future employees or your future business. So I want to use some case studies from my Samsung Tvoje šance program when we really changed life to now almost 30 students. And on the example of their like project path, I want to show the tools we are using, how we are like opening their eyes, because for them it's like, oh my god, like we have usually in half of the program or at the end of the program some like non-formal like just talk, and they are like, I still cannot believe this is really happening to me, because it opened my eyes and gave me so many opportunities. So I want to show the participants these kind of tools we're using and the way how we're doing it, because they can also implement it to their life, and maybe give them some tips or tricks like how you can support your formal education with other non-formal activities.
Okay, thank you. And now, when you mentioned future skills and your chance future skills Samsung project, and that is the main topic of our international summer school. But like the last expert Anna Lim that we had a podcast, like I also asked, what do you think? And I know it's really hard question. I don't expect some like answers or something but what do you think that future skills will be? Like, what do you think? Like, now, what would you recommend me to start developing? Like, I'm not too young, but I'm not old, and some future is waiting for me. But somehow, like, I'm not updated like millennials are, with everything. So could you please give us some advices? Because I'm pretty much sure that there are people who are like older than 25, but don't say anybody, please.
Sure. Like, I think what's the most important is to be like flexible, to be open-minded, to learn new stuff, to accept there is some new reality coming. And this is what matters the most, because if you understand that, you know that you have to do some steps to like just fit in. Very important, the technology. I think everybody knows that, everybody hears that every day in their life. So the technology to develop more like the communication skills, interpersonal like skills, and be able to talk with people about anything, to be empathic, because the world is changing so fast and it's like more robotics, more automatization, but it will be more dependent on the people because of their like emotions on like the robots, they cannot do these things, they cannot feel. So just be more like sensible, because this is what will make us different from the robots and from the programs.
This is pretty much the same, or at least similar, that what Anna Lim said to us, that relations between people are the most important resource, especially on work, and that the new like cultural shock is coming, because like we are having more and more intercultural work environment. So like she said, empathy, understanding each other, and I was thinking, but we are understanding each other like all the time. Isn't that true or not? But when she said like maybe, but you need to be able to understand other culture. Even for me, I have some culture shock, even if we are just 900 kilometers away. Yeah. So, and I was also thinking, what will happen with human science, like for example literature, philosophy. Like, okay, we need to develop technology, but during the crisis so many people were reading books, because that is the only thing that can give you some faith. Like technology, yes, but what do you think that will happen like with teachers of human science or philosophy? Where philosophers are going to be? Like, are they going to lose their job, or what will happen? Do we still need people like this? Or I know it's difficult, but let's just talk.
Yeah, well, it's a really difficult topic. I think we will still need these people, because like more we talk, less we listen. And And I think this is really big problem of now, because everybody can talk, everybody can show their life on like the social media. You can like influence a lot of people, but really few people can listen. And like I see myself many times, I was the person that always talk, like didn't let anybody listen. And now I am more like sitting and looking around the people, thinking and looking at them, how they interact, how they like look when they're talking. And this is kind of little bit coming with the psychology, like understand why the behavior is working this way and the people are behaving the way they do. So I think we will need these people maybe even more. And as you can see now, it's developing the psychiatrist, the psychologist, human resources managers, or like not the managers itself, but some people who will develop your, like help you with the development. And those new professions will be really wanting, like a therapist. It will be like really boom, even more than it was until now, I think.
Yes, I think that everybody needs understanding and compassion. For you cannot believe it, we are near the end, so you can rest a bit. Like, what would you recommend to our participants? Like, just really last questions, and to everybody who is listening now. Like, you have Black Mirror, and there the future is not going to be great. Of course, that is anthropologic, pessimistic way of thinking. Somehow I'm supporting, but I don't want to live in the future that they are trying to show to us. They're just trying to show like the worst scenario. But how do you think that our future will be in 10 years? And what would you recommend to all of us? Like how to recognize that future that is coming?
I think nobody knows the answer on this question. This is you can have some tips, you can know like some tools, how you can like keep on with this, what's happening. But nobody knows the future. So I think maybe in 10 years, it will not change so much. Maybe there will be more automatizations, less people in the shopping centers, but the people will be somewhere else. And I think the Black Mirror, it's really like too much. It's kind of served the purpose to scare us a little bit, to realize, look, you have to come back to yourself. And that's what I mentioned, like it will be more about the people. So I think if people will still be interested more in the people than in the technology and spending time with the people, not with the technology, I think we still going quite well, like no end of the world. And like when you go 100 years ago, first machines before the First World War, people were scared. People were like destroying the machines because they were scared they will lose the job and like it will be the end of the world. It didn't happen. We will just learn to live with what's coming, and like the life without people, like the world wouldn't exist the way it is. Like it would not make sense to be just robots here or like some machines. So the world needs us. We need the machines as well because it helps us to do other stuff than we do, like to be focused on something else. It gives us a really amazing opportunities now during the COVID time. Like I think without internet, the people would be already jumping out from the windows, and it's like nobody knows what will happen. I just think like you never stop learning new stuff because that's what you do if you want to keep up with what's happening, and always like try to think about yourself but also the others, not just like the profit.
Okay, Lucia, thank you very much for nice conversation and for everything you tell to us. And this is it. This is the end of the second podcast of Youth Time International Movement. Bye.